In a world of luxury, traditional advertising has lost its ability to influence those who hold power. High net worth individuals are not only an expensive and hard to target demographic, they have built an ecosystem that insulates them from conventional advertising, preferring curated content and premium ad free services. Faced with the challenge of reaching those who do not want to be found, the smartest brands realized that the answer was not in speaking to them, but in starting to live with them. This is where elite sports come into play. More entertainment, Formula One, tennis, and golf function as symbolic stage ecosystems where belonging and lifestyle speak louder than any slogan. It is a code that brands like Louis Vuitton and Rolex have understood perfectly, using sports as a mirror of their own values. A powerful union of performance, status, emotion, and community. These are the pillars of aspirational consumption, not sold in an advertisement, but lived in every competition. The strategy transcends exclusivity for its own sake and embraces lifestyle, making the brand visible to all but experienced by a few, transforming spectators into aspirants and participants into ambassadors. If traditional advertising no longer open doors, luxury brands have had to find a new key. The fundamental rule is that this audience does not long to be sold to, but to be included. A mass market campaign, no matter how creative, we rarely convince someone to invest in a $300,000 Richard Mille watch. The sale in this universe is the consequence of a subtle emotional connection built in the right environment. None has proven more fertile for this than elite sports. The attraction of the affluent audience to sports like golf, motor racing, and sailing transcends a simple passion for the game. The motivation lies in the networking and status inherent in these circles. Unlike soccer, whose beauty lies in its universal accessibility, other sports have natural barriers to entry. The high cost of equipment and restricted access to clubs act as an effective social filter, turning the environment into a symbol of distinction. Participating is not just a hobby, but an act that reinforces belonging to a select group. It is in this ecosystem that sports ceases to be entertainment and solidifies its role as a social language of success. A nonverbal code that communicates performance and discipline. For luxury brands, speaking this language is no longer an option. That is the game itself. Their starting point may be pragmatic, but recurring participation in this environment triggers one of the most powerful human drivers, the need to belong. What began as social convenience transforms into an emotional bond, and the individual ceases to be mere spectator to become part of a community united by rituals and narratives of overcoming adversity. Once this bond is formed, a powerful transfer of values occurs. The discipline, performance, and relentless pursuit of victory personified by the athlete begin to mirror the individual's own ambitions. And this is where the true aspiration of value is born. The sport represents not just what the person admires, but who they wish to become. This association turns the experience into a symbolic act. Watching Formula One in Monaco or a final at Wimbledon transcends leisure. It is an act of performance status. It becomes clear then that modern luxury is fundamentally experiential. The bridge between the emotion of sport and a brand's value is built by a powerful mechanism, associative mimetics. It is the strategy by which a brand allies itself with culture and symbols to absorb through osmosis their meaning and prestige. Anthropologist McCracken, in his meaning transform model, decoded how this process works in a dynamic and self-sustaining cycle. The cycle unfolds in three stages. Number one, culture to goods. Meaning migrates from the culture, the sport, to the product. The association of a watch with an F1 driver, for example, transfers the attributes of precision and performance to the object. Number two, goods to consumers. By acquiring the product, the meaning is transferred to the consumer, who incorporates it into their identity. And number three, consumer to culture. By using the products, consumers reinforce and negotiate their meanings fitting the cultural transfer. When brands position themselves in this universe, They borrow their symbolic capital. The consumer no longer desires just the product, but participation in the context it represents. Lifestyle functions as the bridge connecting the performance of the sport, now associated with the brand, to the individual's daily life, turning the product into a portable extension of the culture. Classic associations like tag heuer with Formula One are perfect examples. Sport provide the stage, lifestyle brands enter the scene to make aspiration tangible and consumable. The intersection of luxury and elite sports has evolved from traditional sponsorship into a deep strategic symbiosis. The LVMH conglomerate's association with Formula One exemplifies the pursuit of a global platform for excellence. And none of these choices are random. Brands are not just seeking an audience, but an alignment of narratives. The DNA of both worlds share codes of precision, heritage, and performance. Tag Heuer's timekeeping in F1 or the celebration with Moet Chandon on the podium are not advertising actions. They are extensions of the brand's identity in a territory its audience admires. The strategy has migrated from logo on the shirt to staring in the experience. Louis Vuitton does not just sponsor, it creates the trophy trunk, becoming part of the victory ritual. Long-term contracts from these brands signal a desire to build a legacy, with activations hanging from premium hospitality to development of collaborative products and so on and so on. So a new era is consolidated, that of cultural integration. The most successful luxury brands are no longer buying space at sporting events. They are investing to become part of the heritage of these sports, and the goal is not just to be seen, but to be indispensable to the event's own luxury narrative. In doing so, they ensure their story of excellence is told authentically and memorably for generations to come.